Hello everyone, I'm Benzo and today I'm going to be reviewing this 3D printer over here, my XYZ DaVinci Junior 1.0. So let's begin. And I was tugging on it, it needs to be warm. Tugging on it, you need to be a bit careful. I squeezed it, tugging on it, it can still be quite dangerous. So I purchased this printer about a year ago. I purchased it from Staples or Best Buy. I believe Best Buy in the United States. And they weren't shipping to Canada. I'm from Canada, and so I had to drive down to the United States to pick it up. And you know, I wasn't too worried about it. I purchased this for, I believe it was about $230 US, so about 350 Canadian. I've seen the price now, and they, like on Amazon, they're $400, $500. So this is, I got it at a pretty good price. When I bought it though, I had no idea whatsoever that XYZ printers use proprietary filament, so they can only use XYZ filament, or it claims to only be able to use it. I found ways to trick it into using third-party filament, but I still need to buy spools of the regular XYZ filament. So when I first got the printer, I unpacked it, I took it out of the box, and it came with a nice sheet of instructions. I'm not sure if I still have those, it's been a year. But it was essentially already assembled. I just had to click on the print head and make sure a couple things were secured, and plug in the power cord and the USB, put in the little the SD card right here. It will not print without this SD card. It's kind of like a key to it, I guess. But that's something pretty nifty about these. Like if you're a parent who wants to make sure your kid, who wants to get their children interested into 3D printing, then this is a great thing to use. So as I was saying, if you're a parent who wants to teach your kids 3D printing, get your children interested in 3D printing, but you want to make sure that they can do it safely, then this is actually quite a good feature. This allows you to be able to take this physical piece out, and then people won't be able to use the printer anymore. Now that's not to say that it's the safest printer in the world. When you want to clean the nozzle, clean the filament, clean a clog rather in the extruder, then it takes a bit of work, and it's better to use heat-resistant gloves. I don't have the budget for those yet, but I am moving towards 3D printing and being a bit safer while I print. But I have hurt myself on this printer. Once I was trying to clean the nozzle, clean a clogged nozzle, and I was trying to take the nozzle off of the printer, and it can be a little awkward. When you click the empty nozzle button, it brings the whole nozzle up, and there's a button actually that you need to press behind that's hidden because the nozzle goes up. The plastic on top of the printer hides that button. So I was trying to figure out how to remove the extruder, and I was tugging on it, and then I put my thumb on the extruder, and it needs to be warm to be able to clean the filament out, to clean the clog out of the extruder. And so I squeezed it, and I burnt my thumb quite severely. So you need to be a bit careful. You do need to be very careful while 3D printing. It still can be dangerous, even though it's just a glorified hot glue gun. It can still be quite dangerous. So the XYZ printer, it comes with one file, a test print already on this card, and the test print is a little heart keychain. Yeah, a little heart that can fit on a keychain rather. I don't believe I have one on me. Give me one second. Let me check. Okay. Nope, I lost it. It has been a year. So the printer, it came with this orange filament, and it allowed me to print a couple things. So right here, I actually have a walnut shell, a 3D printed walnut shell. Now something you might not know about me is I'm a magician. And so I use my 3D printer, well, 3D printers, plural now, to build many magic tricks, many different types of things that I can use in Magic. And actually, later on I'm going to be doing a couple videos on 3D printing some Magic things, and just things that you can use in your regular life as well, that you might find fun. So I 3D printed this walnut shell. Now, it looks really well, but my issue was the color of the filament. I don't really like the orange. It doesn't, there's no real contrast within the material itself, so that you lose a bit of the detail. Like, the detail is still there, but looking at it from a bit of a distance, you don't get any of the detail. It doesn't pick anything up. Also, on one of the sides, it gets a little bit thin on one of the sides. I'm not sure if that's because of the slicer I was using, the XYZ proprietary software, or whether it was just the file. This was one of the first things I downloaded from Thingiverse, so it could have been a myriad of things. I wanted to print something where it printed in one piece, but it would have movable parts, to be able to test the calibration of the printer and to see how well it can really print. You know, it's a $230 US printer, so I wanted to test it out, see how well it could print. And so my first real stress test was this over here, It's a, it's essentially a scissor device. So it's like a scissor lift, but just the scissor part. So it extends and retracts, it extends and retracts. And I printed this, it printed like this, it printed small like this, and it printed very well, but the whole thing was kind of fused together. So it took about an hour or so just wiggling and playing and stuff to be able to free up the joints. But now, as you can see, it works pretty damn well. Now, the printer comes with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, and they have it built so that you can't really remove the nozzle. A lot of the things with XYZ printing is it comes the way it was manufactured, and you don't play with it, you don't finick with it a lot, unlike the K280 by HE3D. So this printer is very good it's a very good starting 3D printer. It's very reliable, but my only real issue with it is the filament. I would really love to be able to use third-party filament on this printer. It'd be so much cheaper. XYZ, they sell their filament for about $25 US for 600 grams of filament. Whereas the regular price for budget filament on Amazon is more like $25 for a kilogram. So you're getting an extra 400 grams essentially for free compared to XYZ. So that's one of my qualms with it. So when I was starting 3D printing, I was very anxious, I was very nervous, I didn't know what I was doing, and I wanted to make sure I didn't do anything that would screw up or mess up my printer or my prints, because filament can be expensive. And this printer was a great printer to start with because it helped me build that confidence, it helped me build that foundation of knowledge. And from there, I was able to learn more, and I got myself this 3D printer behind me, the K280 by HE3D. So yeah, this printer is very good for a beginner printer, but if you're looking for something that can do extremely detailed prints, that can do overhangs that are very good, then I wouldn't necessarily recommend this printer. Oh, what I was going to say, this printer has a proprietary software as well. And that software actually it makes everything very, very easy to be able to download a file from Thingiverse, and then you click on the file and it opens it up on the XYZ software, and then you can scale it. You can do the basics. You can scale it, you can rotate it, you can change its axis, but it's very, very minimal, and it makes it very easy. It's very, I guess, child-friendly. And I like child-friendly. It's very, very clean-cut and easy to follow. So I guess that more or less covers my review of the XYZ DaVinci Junior 1.0. It's a cute little box printer. Yeah, it's about 1 foot by a foot. It's about a foot cube printer. This printer also has a pretty nifty little door here, and it is a Bowden extruder. A Bowden extruder is where you have your motor on the side, and then it pushes the filament through a tube into the nozzle itself, instead of having the feeder motor on the nozzle, which would be a lot of mass to move around. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you got something out of it. And I would totally recommend this printer. I would give it about 4 out of 5. I give it a 4 out of 5. The only thing missing is the filament. If I could only use third-party filament, that would be great. Now, in an upcoming video, I am going to try hacking the NFC chips just to see if I could be able to use a little bit of third-party filament, because this printer is phenomenal. Its quality is really good. For what you're paying, you're getting beyond what you're paying for. So it's a really good printer. So yeah, 4 out of 5. I definitely recommend it. It's very user-friendly, and if you're just getting started, it is for sure the printer for you. Well guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like this video, and please feel free to subscribe as well if you want to get some updates on future videos on 3D printing, and also if you want to hear me tear apart this 3D printer right behind me. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, start a fight in the comments section. Maybe I said something wrong, maybe I didn't, who knows? Find out in the comments below. Take care guys, have a good one.